Welcome, friends, to GHK Radio Season 3, Episode 10, the grand finale of this whole shebang.
Wow.
Hola. 10. And Kai
Thank you, Camp.
And Kai has been perpetually angry since even before we started the episode.
Yep. He's upset.
Oh, that's what you meant.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. All right. We had a whole bit before. We had the pre-recording bit, and I was like...
It wasn't even a bit. I was trying to tell you look mad.
I was taking my contacts off, and you kept saying you look angry. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm squinting because I'm taking my contacts off.
You think I can watch you squint from here?
I did not realize you meant I had my toggle on.
I thought it was obvious.
No.
Well, DM knew.
I was a knower.
She was in the know.
How dare. How dare. Keeping secrets from me.
It's not. He's literally trying to tell you
Every day of my life, I keep secrets from you, Kai.
Maybe that's why I'm so angry.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, the first topic is Kai's.
Yes, Kai goes first today.
What?
Yep.
First topic is mine was more appropriate for the last one.
Oh,
Well, sometimes you save the last for first, you know?
Oh, I was gonna do the easy cop-out one.
Too bad. Early cop out instead.
Early cop-out. Wow, it is certainly the season finale.
yeah, we're sure treating this real good.
It sure is the last
Sure
episode of
is.
season 3. Although also granted that this is going to be the last appearance with Harune as well. It very well might be the series finale.
But it is the series finale.
It is the finale.
No, season finale and series finale are two different things.
This is both the season and the series finale, as far as I understand.
As far as yeah.
As far as what the current scenarios, the plan and stuff.
Exactly.
You know?
So I was gonna do the whole thing where it's like a look back at GHK, like a whole nostalgia thing.
Well, we can look back at it first then.
Yeah, I feel like that's a great way to start it.
That's a great intro, right?
Wow. Yeah.
I'm here for it. Give me time to eat my frozen fruit.
Yeah, I wanted to do the whole thing, and I was like thinking like, how do we turn that into like a bit of a game? Because there was that kind of like best friend game going around where it's like, how well do you know these people? I think we played it like at the very, very beginning, and I was like, how much better have we gotten to know each other since then? And then we reveal that it's all been a sham and we're all paid actors and don't actually know each other.
I mean, that's pretty accurate. Like my brain is like a sieve. I can't remember what I did yesterday.
I meant more for me, but yeah, I guess that applies to us.
Let's see how good Kai is at remembering stuff.
So it's kind of like two things, I guess. It's like, I guess we could talk about like our favorite memories of the past 3 seasons, but then it's also like how much better we've gotten to know each other with a quick game. I was hoping everybody could come up with 2 questions for each other. So I'm gonna ask Girl DM a question.
About yourself?
No, about herself. I'm going to ask Girl DM about a question, and she's going to come up with her own answer, but then me and Harune both have to come up with what we think is her answer.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to ask the question to Harune, and you're going to
So you're going to make up a question that we have to answer.
Yes, but then I have to guess what your answer is.
But
Are you not following?
I think it just clicked. I've just been sitting here with my mouth open, eyes squinting for like 30 seconds. I think I get it now.
So it's like we each ask each other 2 questions. So then DM would ask me a question. DM would ask you a question. You ask me a question. You ask DM a question. But so everybody gets a fair amount of questions being asked. Everybody comes up with their own answers, and the other 2 people have to see how close they can get to the person's answer. Does that make sense?
Okay. That might be tough though, because like if I'm going to ask, for example, DM a question, of course I'm going to want to pick something that I think I know the answer to.
Yes, because if I make DM pick her own questions, she's definitely going to pick something we'd have no idea about.
Now, the tricky thing is too, though, that like But what
I mean,
if
we
I
could
can't
go that
think
route.
of, I mean,
Okay,
no, it would be
let's-
interesting. It would be interesting either way. We can try it.
Let's keep it simple then. Let's just have everyone think 2 questions for themselves.
Anytime, like, this reminds me of like job interviews, and every single time they were like, "What questions do you have for us?" I was just like, "Do you company?
Yeah.
Do you
Will you pay me?
Will you be what does happy at job?"
Yeah. Tell me very straightforwardly. How do your current employees enjoy your working at your company?
Wow.
Do you have free snack room?
Free snack.
Okay, should I start then to lead by example?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I've mentioned this several times before, but what is my favorite game to play when collabing with other content creators?
Project Winter.
I would have said the same thing. Yeah.
Whoa, you guys remember so much about me already. One whole fact. Whoa.
Because you're really good at the game and you kill us.
I'm so good at that game, like you
You're
wouldn't
so
believe.
good at the game.
It makes me ill. I don't like playing with Kai at Project Winter.
Anytime Kai's in a game with Project Winter, I'm like, okay, either we're both imposters or Kai's an imposter. He's never innocent.
It's true, actually. That's really strange. He is more often than not the imposter.
Actually, not as often as I would like.
Listen to this man. He wants to murder his friends.
Very much so.
Well, I did murder him on his birthday last year, and that was really fun.
That was hilarious.
That is true. That is also.
I got one good kill on him.
Just as we just go over and hearing Harune singing the birthday song while murdering Kai, it was just amazing. It's just like, oh no.
That's probably my best,
Oh no!
my best clutch play ever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that was a good question. DM, have you thought of something, or should I?
You should go. I have not thought of anything. My
Okay,
head is empty.
I will.
Thoughts?
I haven't really thought of anything either, but I will. I'll try and come up with something super quick.
Oh wait, no, I've got one.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Ooh.
Who am I asking?
Just both of us.
Yeah, you're gonna pose the question, and then both of us will answer what we think the answer is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do I like wearing socks to bed?
Yes.
I'm gonna go with no.
The answer is no.
Dang it!
I'm a very warm person. Like,
I feel like I remember this because we talked about we're the same way. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
I get
no.
overheated really quickly. So if I like socks make me like extra warm. The only time that I've ever really worn socks to bed is if I had like an injury or something that I had to keep like a dressing on it, or if like a cream or something that needed to stay on it. That's the only time that I've done that.
It feels so restricting. Like I can't sleep with sleeves or like long pants. Like
Well,
I have to
I know
sleep
that
in, like,
about
basketball
you.
shorts and like a tank top.
You are a bizarre goober, but
It's basically like those people that sleep nude, but with a bit more modesty.
why bother at that point? Like, just do it. Just strip for bed, okay? You're not fooling anyone.
I don't like the feeling of my shoulders restricted. It's weird, and I'm like I feel like I remember relating with DM about this, so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
both
pretty
of us are
sure.
like sleeves. We hate it here. But
Yeah.
Harune, I know that you tend to run colder.
Yes,
So
Yeah.
I think you like wearing socks to bed.
I
huh, when
love
it's cold.
socks to bed. I love wearing socks.
It just feels so
Yeah.
constricting. I mean, like,
That's what I want. Like when
let
I
those
was
grippers go free.
no though. Like I'm actually scared, and I think this is because I'm also
What, they'll run away?
No, that like I don't like leaving any parts of my body hanging like outside of the bed. Because I'm
yes.
afraid
The
something
monster under the bed might
you
get-
know, you laugh, but I genuinely
Tompa.
it is a deeply ingrained fear. Like I can't even let my hand hang over the side of the bed because I'm afraid something will hold my hand. Like my feet will never see the light of day while I am asleep because I don't want something grabbing my feet. Like I just
Wait, that sounds so cute though. The middle of the night, the monster in your bed reaches out and just holds your hand out of all things.
I mean, I mean, I'd be okay with that, but it would like scare me a little.
What a bashful monster.
Harune, I'm just gonna like out of the blue someday. I'll just hold your hand.
I mean,
While you're sleeping.
Yeah, while you're sleeping, you'll wake up and
I'll
you'll
probably
be like,
hold it back. Without even waking up, I'll just tighten my grip. It'll be sweet. You're welcome. But okay, I have to think of a question now. Oh, what is something that I might have mentioned about myself before? See, I don't recall what I've talked about, which is
right?
devastating because now I don't know the questions to ask.
Can't believe all of our conversations hold so little weight in your heart. Oh my gosh.
No, that's not true. It's
now
more,
we really know how.
Remember that one time when we found out that my cousin took
Yeah.
Kai's dream?
I remember that vividly.
Do you only
Remember
remember
the
good.
one time that Kai was making the vegan cheesecake and he completely decimated the
Just-
recipe to our horror?
Yes, and isn't that
Remember
how?
Remember when we
Clive-
found out Kai doesn't have measuring cups?
Yeah, and Clive had to send him heart-shaped ones through. I think it was like the same ones that DM has. I think that's what it was. or
I think
something.
so, yeah.
Why do you guys only remember the facts about me that make me look bad?
They are endearing.
Have the
they're
past
endearing.
3 seasons of friendship and camaraderie mean nothing to you guys?
No,
Remember
they mean everything.
when I met you in person, Kai, and I snuck around behind the back of your car and watched you like look for us for like 5 to 10 minutes?
Yeah, and you punched me. The
And then
first thing you
threatened his
did.
knee-
Nane
Kneecaps.
told me to, and I you know what, I stand Nane.
The first thing you did was punch me. The second thing you did was ask if you could do it again for a video for Nane.
Yeah.
And then didn't you threaten his kneecaps?
Yeah. She grabbed me by the jacket and just said, "Did you know it only takes 4 pounds of force to break a kneecap?"
Uh-huh.
And then she put her boot on my knee, and I'm like,
I don't know why I did it, but you'd probably deserved it.
You said I was too tall and needed to bring me down to your
Oh yeah,
height.
yeah. Deserved.
Oh, okay, all right. So just to shorten you a bit.
Yeah. I mean, Kai, if you were shorter, like, just think of the perspective you could have.
Trust me, but with the way my spine is going, the next time
Oh,
we
no.
meet, it might be true.
Oh, okay.
It'll be like the
Okay, so-
Hunchback of Notre Dame, just crumpled over
Kai-
like a roly-poly.
Kai is hitting the like the what was it? I've seen like a graphic of like the aging scale where it's just like
The Asians.
looks young, looks young, it turns into raisin. You're just hitting the raisin portion, Kai.
About 30 years too early, but yeah.
Yeah. It's so sad that the joke is that once you hit 50, you just shrivel.
Yeah.
But anyway, I did come up with a question.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Wow.
Do I consume my food and drink quickly? Or am I a slow eater and drinker?
You're slow. You're slow.
You're a vacuum.
I'm a vacuum.
An absolute vacuum.
I eat and drink so fast. Like,
I do too.
I've slowed down quite a bit with my food, but it's near impossible for me with my beverages. Like, Kai and I have bonded about this quite a bit
Yes,
with how quickly we finish our
remember.
boba.
Because
It's pretty much
talked
gone by
about
the time
that.
we get to our car.
Yeah, it's like we pay, and then we get out of line so the next person can pay, and by the time they're done paying, we're done.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
You mean just like sippy.
there were I do remember a lot of times when you join your anime watch parties, anime night on Discord.
Mhm.
Quite often you start with, "Oh, sorry, I was choking on my blank," whatever you were having for that day. Which, knowing how fast you eat seems very normal.
I eat
Or,
very quickly as well. Hey,
yeah.
we're the fast eater club.
Yay! Fastest
Wow.
eaters west of the Mississippi. And east.
Woo! And east, all
East and
across the
west. Yeah.
Mississippi.
All around the circumference of the Mississippi.
Just sucks up the eggs Benedict without chewing.
Oh,
That's the best way to eat it.
I will. So here's another question, but not
Oy.
part of the game question. But I'm curious. Do you guys? Because I know, DM, you are a sushi eater. I would assume.
Yes, I do eat sushi.
Wow.
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 Are you guys single biters? Is it an all-in-one for you? Is it a hole-in-one, or do you bite it? in half?
It's a hole-in-one.
Hole-in-one.
I want to say normally it is. For most pieces of sushi it is, but sometimes we go to these like really nouveau, like modern sushi places that like
you can
to
just
throw
say the word
everything in there.
modern.
Modern.
Modern. It's like they'll make a sushi roll that has like the diameter of like a small bowl.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
Filled with,
like the Korean style ones usually have like the larger diameter ones. I still one bite those.
Yeah, I realize too that like no matter how large it is, I will still try and eat it all in one bite.
I try, but I mean, I've talked about it before, but under my mask, despite my big size, my mouth is actually rather small. So,
He's got a tiny mouth.
He's just got a little tiny
He's
mouth.
got a tiny little baby mouth.
He's just a little tiny baby mouth.
You use a baby spoon with me. You eat your soup.
That's why he wears the mask, you know, so that we're not startled by his little tiny mouth.
Could you imagine? He takes his mask off, and it's just a tiny little mouth.
Hey, I know what the thumbnail image is now.
I'm gonna let this one slide. It's the last. I'm gonna let this one
The
slide.
thumbnail image is just Kai without his mask, and he just has this tiny little mouth.
I'm just gonna just bear with it. Just it's the last episode.
Oh my
Just-
god.
We're almost done.
Ooh, that's so funny. Okay, I'm
No,
sorry.
but yeah, like
Ooh.
like it's something people usually talk about like the second time they meet me. The first time's always, wow, you're so tall, and then the second time is,
Wow, your
people
mouth's so
do-
small.
they do notice like I do the thing where like I take small bites, but I take a lot of small bites, so like my face puffs up
Mhm.
because I like store all my food.
Oh my god, he's a chipmunk.
That's how I eat because my mouth is not big. You know what really what I really can't handle, like candied apples. They're just so how do people bite into them? They're so
Wait, candied apples or caramel apples?
Caramel apples are candied,
both.
yeah.
Both.
Oh my god.
Because caramel apples you just bite into.
Right, at least the caramel's soft, but candied apples I don't get. Like I would have to lick the candy part first before I'd even try to bite into the apple. Like that seems like breaking
Just go
your teeth.
apple smash.
Yeah,
I-
smash
yeah.
it down on the floor.
It's like I can't open my I can't open my mouth wide enough to like bite into
Schrodinger's
apples.
wife.
Apples in and of themselves are already kind of like hard to bite into, and then you add like candy coating. I
Kai's
just
got a
can't
tiny
figure it out.
mouth. He can't bite his wife. Harune.
My mouth wide enough is what I meant. I don't bite wives, real or imaginary.
Oh my god, I'm sweating.
Yep.
Oh my god.
You know,
Sorry,
Being
continue.
Kai. Yeah,
You know-
wait, Kai.
I woke up kind of emotional this morning, and by this morning I mean like 30 minutes ago, and I was like, it finally kind of hit me that this is like the last episode, and I was like really sad, and I didn't want to get out of bed.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I normally want to get out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm just like, oh boy.
Now you're like, I can't wait until I get back into bed and cry about this episode.
Me and Harune are helping by being more obnoxious than normal.
Yeah, we're
then
feeding
you're
you
not sad.
copium.
I'm gonna cry
See-
for another reason now.
See, this is like
no.
when I was in university.
Mhm.
It was it was a decent distance away from where my family lived,
Same.
and so we would take a road trip out to like drop me off. And every time, without fail, when it was time for like my parents to leave, I would just like start bawling,
Oh,
and I would cry for
no.
like 2 hours after they were gone because I was by myself and like I didn't live in a dorm or anything, so I didn't have like friends nearby for like the first 2 or 3 years. I didn't really
Mhm.
know anybody, so it was just like, okay, it's lonely time. It's just like me and my studies now,
Aw.
right?
Mhm.
And the way that we started to combat this is that we would have my sibling come along. Because without fail, I would just be like, Oh, thank God! I don't have to be in
And
the
get
same
me out
house
of
as
this
you.
car. Wow, what a
'Cause inevitably,
remedy.
my sibling would say something or other that I would just start getting annoyed, and I would just be like, "I'm so glad you're here," because otherwise I would be like inconsolably start sobbing.
Oh
But now
my gosh.
I can be like, you know what? Maybe it's a good thing.
You know, that's really powerful, though.
Good gosh.
Yeah, for your sibling to be strong
I love
enough.
my sibling, but we definitely get on each other's nerves like no other. Like,
I've never related to sibling DM harder than in this moment.
Thank God you're in this car. So I can leave with a
"Oh, thank
smile on
goodness.
my face.
I can walk away with like a smile and gladness. Oh my God, I think there was a couple times growing up that my sibling and I like didn't talk to each other for a week because we were just
oh my
like
gosh.
so like we fought and we're just so mad at each other that we were just like, yeah.
Yeah, we're not
No.
on speaking terms right now.
Yep.
Would you kindly tell my sibling mother that I will not dine with him in the vicinity?
Well, like our parents would notice sometimes and be like, "Can you go tell your sibling like it's dinner time or whatever?" And I would go over to my siblings' room and be like, "It's dinner," and just like leave.
Food.
Yeah,
Food.
eat.
Come eat.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad that you guys found a method that works because nothing could be sadder than just watching your parents go and you're feeling sad and lonely. You just bawl for 2
and
hours.
you
Like
just,
that sounds
have, like,
devastating.
That separation anxiety and sadness.
That sounds so sad. So I'm glad you
Yeah.
found something to sort that out for you.
Mm-hmm.
So we're helping Kai.
Mm-hmm. I'm helping him cope by being
That's
meaner
still
than
so
usual.
sad now. That's the.
Wait,
Why
what are
do
you
I-
sad?
I feel like I'm the only one sad by this.
It'll hit me, but it usually won't hit me until afterwards. It's the whole you
Yeah.
don't know what you have till it's gone sort of thing. I definitely
Yeah.
am that kind of person where I
And
wouldn't.
it's not like we're like dying. It's
I'm very much the opposite. I'm the like as soon as I get something new in my hand, my first thought is like one day I'm gonna lose this and I'm gonna
Oh
be
my
sad.
God, that's so unhealthy.
Wow, so
oh my
Kai
God.
started like the beginning of GHK and was like, "It'll be good while it lasts, boys."
I feel like that's how I'd be in a relationship though, like not to turn it to
That's-
that, but like that's like I would be like, oh, okay, so I'm in a relationship now. Wonder how long this will last. Like this will be done soon, you know? Like,
This friendship's great. It's gonna suck when it ends.
yeah.
I mean,
Same.
like, if I'm to talk about like something along that line, like, I started VTubing. I feel like everyone starts VTubing with the same mindset, which is like, oh my God, one day I'm going to become big and famous, and it's going to be great, and I'm going to keep doing
Oh,
this
not me.
forever.
I
And all
don't
that?
think I ever
Yeah,
had that
like-
thought.
No.
I
was just like, I like this technology. This is neat. Look, the anime girl moves. Haha, I'll draw and do this at the same time.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I started too, because I was more curious about if I could make a model or not.
Oh, that's right.
And when I actually started content creating, I set it up in such a way that it would minimize the pain of when I stop. I was all like, I'm gonna make videos. I'm not gonna interact with anyone. I'm not gonna join any circles. I don't want to make any friends because I know it's gonna suck when I stop. And then I made friends, and now I'm like, oh no.
That's actually how I was
I'm
like in
setting
college.
myself up for pain.
I was that
But-
way in college. I was like, I don't want to make any friends. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna put my nose to the grindstone for my studies, and that's it. And then I made friends.
I'm pretty sure the first question I asked was, I wonder if I could rig that in live 2D, and the second question was like, I wonder if I'll be sad when it's over.
Aw. See, I'm more of the like appreciating having experiences happen,
Mhm.
but knowing that it's not forever kind of situation, right?
That's how I am after the fact. That's how like it happens. I dread it's gonna end. It ends, and then I kind of like that's when I flip perspectives to be like, but it was fun while it happened, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I really like with like the VTubing and streaming and everything, and it's like everything's preserved, right?
That's true. For the most part.
For the most part.
Well,
part.
no,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, not everything, but like your experiences and such. It's your interactions that you've had with people get preserved in a way, right? Like the podcast will continue being around,
Yes, we'll still
Right?
have the channel up and
The channel's still up, and like the past stuff is still up, and there's like a record there. Like I have edited gameplay clips and such of us playing games together and such, right? So it's preserved in a sense, right?
like little
Yeah.
snapshots of our time together.
Yeah.
Oh,
Although
you
it is
sound
on that
so
topic,
fun.
it is kind of like it is kind of odd how like some VTubers do the thing where they do like the Great Purge when they graduate.
Oh,
I
yeah,
never
they
really
delete
understood that very
everything.
well.
So I do have some insight into that.
I can kind of understand in some certain cases if they want to reintroduce themselves.
It's more for protection,
Hmm.
right? Because if you wind up having the great graduation and you get isekai'd into like a corporation or something,
Right,
then
right.
people who find out your past life are going to go through all of your past data. And if there were people that you talked to regularly that were just normal people, or if there were other people that you talked to that like post things about where their location is and they're like, oh, I hung out with this person today, blah, 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 then that person becomes a target for people who are trying to get more of that information about you, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I can see it. I could see the reasoning for that. It just it was always kind of weird to me like before I
Yeah.
recognized that fact that it was like, man, everybody's leaving. Okay, at least they'll leave the memories. Oh, never mind, it's gone.
Yeah, for a lot of when that happens, it's more for like just protection. It's like when identity witness protection program, right?
Yeah.
I guess
You
yeah.
have to clear, and it's for protections reasons, because when you do have that happen, you kind of get a target on your back.
That is very, very true.
Like there was like a situation that happened fairly recently with a larger corporate VTuber where their entire like location and family home and everything, and people like showed up at their place.
Oh,
yes, I do remember
no.
reading about that. I
Wait,
do
what?
remember
When
reading.
was this?
Like last month.
Yeah.
They showed
Yeah.
up to this person's house?
Yes, they came.
Yes.
They went to their house.
Why? To
Because
catch a
they're
glimpse of
fans.
them, or?
Yeah, they're fans.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my, jeez.
I know who
So-
you're talking about. I'm just not.
yeah.
I'm trying not to say the name to not like propagate
Oh, okay.
the
Yeah.
details any
Okay.
further.
Because
But
when this comes out and stuff, like I can send you information later on it. But
Okay.
yeah, there's like a lot of the times when people clear all that stuff out is because when you have something like that and there's more eyes on you, then people go through your things, right?
Mhm.
So
Makes sense.
I
That's
was-
twisted, but.
and
I
then another
get
thing
it.
is a lot of people, when they do start off as indie VTubers, they don't necessarily make a brand new Twitter account.
Yes.
They like use their account that they had, right? And
Right.
that can go back ages and ages, and people will go through your entire like history and find any pictures you posted or any locations and stuff you tweeted about.
It's true. It's true.
So it's mostly like, it's a shame because it's like, oh, look at all this cool content and like these videos and stuff they made, but they don't have
Memories.
enough like time or resources to go through and vet through and edit stuff
Yeah.
out to make sure that their identity and their location is protected, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like doing a great purge, especially if you ever intend to come back, might be the safest way to go. And you always want to be
Yeah.
safe than sorry when it comes to the internet. But
Yep.
don't worry, I don't intend on reincarnating, so all of this can stay. This isn't going anywhere. So you will always have this, Kai, and anyone else who wants to go back and listen to this. I think I will. I think I'll probably start listening to our podcast from season 1
Mm-hmm.
and,
Wow.
and run it through. Just,
Crunchy Mike Kai.
crunchy mic Kai. It's true.
But, oh man, that was when I was on the old headset mic. That was really bad.
Well, you gotta start somewhere. It's okay to start off with less than gear, because then
Mm-hmm.
the upgrades seem so much more satisfying.
That was back when we also were like 2D, 3D mix.
Yeah, it's true.
Wow, we were so much less consistent back then.
That's okay. Mediums were still trying to like get a foothold,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like 3D kind of came and went, but I'm loving 2D. I always I just thought it was like a great way to showcase the art style. But
I still get people that are upset that I'm 2D.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, every time you
come
introduce new
on.
models, somebody finds something to be upset about
That's
for some reason.
true.
Yeah, it's just like every single time. Like I even almost daily, like I still get comments on my YouTube being like, "Oh my god, it's such a shame that you did this," or "I hate you now that you've swapped over."
Wow.
Like, yeah, I get people that are
Mhm.
like so upset that they are like, "I hate you. How dare
Yeah.
you?"
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, the software I was using became abandonware.
Yeah, also PSA, if you tell someone you hate them just because of a model switch, that's kind of cringe.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
just don't be cringe,
Yep.
okay?
Just don't be cringe.
Yeah, just don't,
I mean, like,
don't be cringe.
I got a bit of that too. Not to your degree. Like, I didn't get people like coming in like, "Oh my god, I hate Kai now." Like, since like
The
upgrading
change,
to
yeah.
like
Yeah.
like I make a change and everyone finds something to nitpick about it. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay.
Wait,
you
what
just-
what could have people
Because
possibly
Kai
have
changed
nitpicked?
models.
Right. Well, yes, I'm aware of that. But
Yes,
what
I'm
could
a
they
little
have
taller than I
possibly
used to be.
nitpicked about? Like, I see nothing but improvement.
There is a I designed this model with a detail that I was not aware about.
If this is about the necklace again, I swear to God.
Yeah, it's about the necklace again.
But that's
What
not
happened?
enough to...
What?
Let's go, Kai.
I designed this model just like as something that I thought I would like to wear, kind of
Yeah.
thing. And this is like I was like, I feel like I need to add an accessory or whatever, like just to like have something else move on the model while I move. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, necklace is fine. Like I could just come up with whatever. And these, I do remember always really liking little accessories and knickknacks when I go to like county fairs or whatever.
Yeah.
And they always had these like really colorful like glass stone pendants that I thought were pretty nice. So I kind of just designed it off that. And unfortunately, there is a relatively infamous story on the internet regarding one such pendant. And
Yes, go
everyone
on.
was very quick to pick up on that fact that I wasn't aware of.
You will have to send DM the details later.
I'll need the details
Yeah,
later.
she's-
Yeah.
It is...
It's so specific. I would
It-
not have...
Yeah, it's not something I'm comfortable talking about out loud, so I will
Okay.
share details with you afterwards.
That's great. Oh, I also did think of a second question, because I think we're doing 2 questions each, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is a really quick one.
Okay.
Oh, is it just yes or no questions, or is it...
Oh no, you can ask
No,
whatever.
other
Okay.
Stuff, yeah.
What is my favorite fruit?
There's a lot of fruit.
There is.
I have a thought, but
I'm
don't.
gonna say grapes.
I know you eat apple slices a lot. I'm not sure if it's your favorite.
Gotta commit.
I'm committing to the fact that I think it might be apple slices.
You would be correct. Apples are my favorite fruit. Although frozen grape, DM, you're not wrong. Frozen grapes are my favorite summer snack.
snack.
I-
Okay, we were both
Yes,
on the
yes,
right.
you both. You
Right,
both are
right.
correct.
I completely forgot about the frozen grapes. I did hear about frozen grapes before, and I just it blanked on me completely.
Yes, I love frozen grapes in the summer, and for literally the rest of the year, it's apples.
Mhm.
I love apples. They are a clutch-based fruit, and I love them. They are so delicious. Anyway, okay. I just want to get that second question out of the way. Well, I still remembered that I had it.
Wow.
What's I've got a second question.
Go ahead.
What's my least favorite fruit?
Is it apples?
Banana.
Harune saying apples, Kai saying banana.
Yes. You
It's
don't like
banana.
bananas. You don't like
I hate
bananas, and you don't like
bananas.
mushrooms.
Oh,
Yep.
I don't.
Although I had
You did have mushrooms recently.
I did have mushroom. The button mushrooms I didn't like, but the grown-up version of the button mushroom I was okay with. The
The
portobello.
grown-up version.
Yeah, the portobello I was like, you know what? This is edible. I can eat this.
Mm.
Oh,
but
That's great. Expanding your.
yeah, I'm forcing myself to eat stuff and being like.
Because I know you've been like experimenting with fish too, right? Like you've been having a bit.
Yeah,
more
I've been
fish
working
in
on like pescatarian stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So I feel like I do remember having this conversation because I remember asking about how you felt about artificial banana flavor, and I think you actually liked it, right? Because you said it wasn't.
No, I don't like it.
Oh, you don't like it? Okay.
Nope. Artificial banana flavor. I'm still like bleh.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
also
think
not
it's
big on
disgusting
artificial
too.
banana. Yeah.
But I think that did get us to talking about how the artificial banana flavor was actually not what bananas taste like today, but
yeah,
I remember this. Yes.
Extinct. That's the word. Extinct one.
Yes.
Extinct.
Yes. So that does. Yeah, one question just triggers a memory, and it was a past conversation on GHK. This is awesome. I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay!
All right, Kai, what's your
Nice.
second question?
My second question. I'm trying to think back to something that we have talked about on GHK because I'm like, what have we talked about like as a group, and what have I talked about with people like?
Oh, I
separate?
know. I always forget.
So it's like there's a lot of things I know we've talked about, but it's like, what can I say that's fair to both contestants?
Well, I mean, to be fair, we have hung out a lot together, both on GHK and off. So you could ask us a question that we might know the answer to. We just haven't discussed it on GHK.
Yeah.
I need a moment to think. I didn't come in prepared with questions because I was an emotional wreck.
Oh, and also just waking up.
Also, yes, karaoke last night didn't help. I feel like I had a standout question, but it's like too easy.
You can still ask it. See what happens.
Yeah,
You can come
my
up with a
second
third
one
if
was
you want.
easy. Like
It wasn't though. I didn't know the answer.
I knew both your answers.
Wow.
I know Kai is such a good listener. I will admit.
Mhm.
I remember everything.
You do. You are a very good, attentive friend in that way.
Mhm.
We appreciate you. Well, don't look at me like that.
Okay.
Okay. So I enjoy cooking.
Mm?
Mhm.
I did have dreams of being Iron Chef Jackie Chan at one point.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I regularly post food pictures on Twitter and in our little food liquors club
Yes.
Discord.
Yeah.
What is my favorite food to make? Not my favorite food, but what is my favorite food to make?
Curry rice.
Are you thinking about the cats?
Yeah.
You thinking about the cats?
Yeah.
Because I if I asked you what my favorite food was, or if I summed it down to which part of the meal the food was, I feel like you both have the same answer. But what is my favorite?
Oh
food
wait, no, I know. Wait. Are you giving? Was this a hint?
If I asked
Creme
you,
brulee? Is it creme brulee?
if I asked you what my favorite dessert was,
It's creme
that would
brulee.
have been the correct answer. If I asked you what
Yeah.
my favorite food to make is,
Oh, okay.
if I besmudge the question to make it vague, what is my favorite food to make?
I'm gonna. Now I don't have any confidence in my answer, but I almost feel like stir-fried rice. Kai looks disappointed. I'm
So you're
sorry,
saying
I'm
fried
bad.
rice,
Yeah.
and DM is saying creme brulee.
Curry.
Oh, curry.
I'm a
Yeah.
bad friend. I'm a bad friend.
Actually, it is fried rice.
Oh,
Fried rice is my favorite thing.
Wow!
Yes.
Okay, mine had rice in it, so it's halfway
It
through.
does. It does.
True.
And I do take leftover curry to make curry fried rice, but it's not something I've said out loud. But I realized looking back, like the majority of my food pictures end up being fried rice.
Yeah.
I do
made
post fried rice a
attention!
lot.
Okay, but I have a qualm with that. The last
Yes.
time you
Yeah.
tweeted and you said rice, and you didn't even have any rice in the picture, and you're like, no,
I
it's
didn't
a
make
rice
that.
dish, and I was like, where's the rice?
Yeah.
I didn't make that. I went to a restaurant. They had
Well,
thing
you
called.
can't post
mislabeled
rice
it
when it's
right.
not.
I did not.
There's no
I
rice
did
in that
not.
picture. There was no rice in that tweet.
Yep,
We
there
were-
was.
It was
rioted, being like,
in the
where?
sauce.
Yeah.
It was in the sauce.
Well, you can't post rice when there's no rice to be seen.
I'm just gonna, you
There
know what?
was
I'm just
rice
gonna
to
take a
be
picture.
tasted.
I'm
Oh my
gonna
God.
take a picture of a waffle and just say ice cream.
Yes.
Chicken. Just put chicken.
Or chicken. Yeah, just say chicken. Well, no, even then would be like enough of a connection that people would be like, oh, okay, it's chicken and waffles. But if I just like take a picture of a normal waffle and just say ice cream. Oh, you didn't see the ice cream. It's underneath the waffle.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Listen, it was actually really good, that dish. But
Well, I
Oh,
bet.
it looked like it was a good one.
Dude,
it
Taiwanese.
just said like
Taiwanese street food chicken is
Taiwanese
so good.
Taiwanese fried pork with rice and thick sauce.
Oh
And when
my
it came, it was a soup, and I was like, "What? What?"
Hmm.
And then there was rice under that soup, but they just called it thick sauce, and I'm like, "Oh."
That ain't soup ain't a sauce. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, it was really good. I do like pouring soup on my rice. I know it's not polite.
No,
but
I
do
like it too, but it's just not a sauce. You can't call it a sauce. You can put
Yeah.
your rice in the soup, and that's fine. Or put your
It
soup
was
on
it
the
was
rice.
essentially a bowl of soup with a scoop of rice in it. So I'm just like,
game for that.
it was also really long, and I didn't want to tweet out Taiwanese fried pork, blah 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 blah. So I was just like, rice.
Well, you didn't want it to look like the menu option. He was just he's
Taiwanese
gatekeeping
pork.
people from ordering the same food. Do you
Oh
hear this,
my
Harune?
God.
Listen, you and I approach tweets very differently.
You are
I
a
tweet
fool.
things expecting no one to see them anyways. It's more for me. And then it's always the ones that I don't expect people to see that you find and you like tear apart.
It's the ones you choose to be careless at. That DM's just lying in wait.
Exactly. She
Pounces
finds
on
every
your
opportunity to
blunders.
criticize
Mm-hmm.
me when I cut corners.
Kai, you gotta be on this stuff. If you're a content creator, you gotta be watching what you post. People could tear you apart for the smallest things.
Yep,
Gotta be ready.
Yep.
This is the legacy you have to uphold after I leave. Well, don't cry.
When Harune is
Just
gone,
don't post
Kai,
rice.
you need to remember her words, okay? Remember what Harune has told you when she's gone.
It's like I can still hear her voice.
I am still here.
It's like she's still here.
I am still here. I am here. I felt like I was going to ask you a question, Kai, but now I've completely forgotten. Your tears flooded the question away, and now I can't remember. Oh, wow.
I'm sure it wasn't
Man,
important.
I can't believe.
No, that's not true.
Yeah,
No, my question was important. I just can't remember. But anyway.
but that kind of fulfilled the objective of my topic. We got to reminisce a little bit about our time together as GHK
Yeah.
with a silly question game that I was not prepared for.
It went well. Whoa.
It
I just
worked.
hiccuped.
You know what? It was good.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it. Good job. Good job, me. I
Good job, you.
am best. I am best.
Pat yourself on the
Bistle.
back.
Ow.
I was going to say, I'm sure that hurt. Your back is not well.
No, it's not.
I don't know why
Oh
you
my
would slap
God.
yourself so hard.
The pain I go through for this podcast.
I know, right?
Truly. You are dedicated to the cause, that's for sure. DM, would you like to go next? Or are we going back in backwards GHK order?
I don't know. Up to you. Do you have a thing you want to go on, or?
Yeah, I've got a thing.
Wow, a thing.
I actually have two things, but
Two things?
they're like totally opposite ends of the spectrum. So I was like debating this whole time about which one I should discuss. So maybe one I'll just share is in like, I just watched this and I thought it was really cool and I want to share it with you guys. And then the second one will actually be something that's like open for discussion.
Okay.
Okay.
So the first thing is Papa Harune just got Chromecast
Wow.
because his smart TV for some reason will not get some apps on there as part of like the smart TV bundle. So like for some reason, for example, he does not the app Disney Plus is not available for him.
Oh, weird.
So he has to plug his laptop in through like an HDMI cord to connect it to the smart TV to watch The Mandalorian, which is he's been like super
okay,
into.
yeah.
So it was just really annoying. So he just decided to get Chromecast, and so we were watching some of the stuff on like the Discovery. Was it Discovery? No, National Geographic.
Mm-hmm.
Portion of the Disney Plus bundle, and we watched this really cool thing about Pompei.
Oh, okay.
And they had this little documentary about the. Are you guys familiar with like the for lack of a better word, like the statues, like the frozen in time sort of figures of Pompeii.
Yes.
From the eruption, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so apparently, I just found this so super interesting because I didn't really know. I knew that there you could see essentially like husks of these people after the eruption, like underneath all the ash and the heat and the pressure and all that stuff. So that's about as much as I knew. But this documentary sort of went into when these figures were first discovered, they were actually there was actually like a cast molded. So like before they were fully excavated out of the ground, I guess they were aware that there could have possibly been bodies inside, so they filled it with like a cast. Like what do they call that? Like
it was essentially because the way that, because I've read up on Pompei stuff, the way that it wound up working was it essentially made people into molds. The heat and pressure from like the hot ash and everything that surrounded them was it incinerated the body inside, but managed to hold their form. So it made a mold essentially, and then the ones that we see now with the people is after they've filled the mold with material.
Right. That's what I understood. That's what it sounded like they were explaining in the documentary. But then it sort of like went on to say that when the excavation site was first published, like to the public, the guy who discovered the statues or the molds of the people or whatever kind of created this story. So you have like these famous figures, like what they call the merchant. The family or
they
whatever.
Have, like the lovers and such.
There
is a rather unfortunate one, but yes.
Yes, and then but apparently it was like kind of all out of nowhere. Like it was purely fabricated just to drum up interest. There really wasn't a ton of research and evidence to show that this was really the case. So that documentary was like this group of scientists that went in and with like laser X-ray technology, I'm not a scientist obviously, looked through the molds. And this is where it got confusing because they studied the bones inside through the X-rays that they took.
Because the ones that they didn't like fill or whatever and they could like see through still not completely like gone, right? There's still remnants of them.
I suppose so. Maybe that was where the confusion was, because I was like, I thought they just said that there wasn't anything left inside, and then they were like, oh, look at the bones. Like, so like
it depends. Some of them probably were too hot to have stuff continue, but then like other ones likely.
Yeah.
Right?
So it was just interesting. Like they brought in like a dental specialist, and so you could have a really good idea of like the age of some of these victims based on which teeth had, broken through the gum or if had not protruded yet. So they discovered that one of the smaller shaped victims was like an infant, like 14 to 16 months old, which they're now saying was like the youngest preserved body to date, or I should say the oldest preserved baby body to date. And it was just like a really cool thing. I unfortunately was really tired, so I was kind of like in and out of sleep, but I just found that so fascinating, and I really didn't know that much about Pompeii other than that, and also the idea that like the volcanic destruction kind of came in two waves. So the first was the actual eruption itself, like that mushroom cloud that goes up into the air, and as it spreads, all this pumice stone was like raining down from the sky, which would have claimed its first victims. And then the second was sort of when everything that went up into the air came crashing down, and then you had all of this ash and smoke like blowing through the city, and that's where, you know, all of the heat and essentially cooked a lot of these people alive, and that's where those Pompei figures, those particular victims. So they survived the pumice shower, but it was this second part of it that got them, and a lot of them were in this sort of like huddled, withdrawn posture, and it was actually due to the fast dehydration within the muscles that caused them to like bend and shrivel.
Oh,
Yeah, so it wasn't like they were all huddled up. They might have been, but that curled in, you know, arms protecting the face almost like a boxer about to fight is due to the dehydration of the muscles. I just found it fascinating. So yeah, there's so much to learn. I love documentaries.
Yeah.
I am such a sucker.
Actually, I have a recommendation for you then that you might be interested in. There's, I think it was through HBO that they have a 5-part drama documentary of what happened with Chernobyl.
Oh yes, I watched that. I
You
watched that.
with that one was like,
Yes,
that was crazy, because all I had known like beforehand was like, oh yeah, Chernobyl was due to like, oh, there was a malfunction in the power plant and like some human error. But the extent to which like all the things that went wrong was just like, oh no.
It was so well done. If you guys haven't seen that HBO Chernobyl, that was
it's just called Chernobyl, and it's 5 episodes.
Yes.
And
I think I saw like half an episode so far for that one too.
Yeah,
it's just like, ooh, the stars really aligned in all the worst ways, didn't it?
Yes.
It was really well. And then, well, Kai, if you've only seen part of it, like the final episode does like the full backstory information on stuff where you're just like, oh, and then the magnitude of like everything is just like,
it's really powerful. I thought it was
yeah.
such a good show. And
It was
if you
done
guys
very well.
if you guys are familiar, like if you're Sherlock Holmes fans, like the Robert Downey Jr. ones, he plays the main character in this, or one of the main characters in the Chernobyl show, is the same guy who plays Moriarty. And I just thought he did such a good job. It's such a like each episode left me feeling very like heavy inside, but it's one of those things where like you know.
Wait, which? Hang on a second. Which there's a whole bunch of different ones.
Oh, the Robert Downey Jr. movie. I'm
trying to
the Sherlock Holmes movies.
Yeah, I'm trying to find who was
the one who played
Moriarty.
That would have been in Game of Shadows. Jared Harris.
Let me check that name. I don't know him by name. If I did, I would have said his name. But I am a fool.
Yes.
Oh, you found him? Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, he's such a good actor.
He did such a good job. Yes. Yeah.
Just a really powerful show. I ended up buying the box set for Papa Rene because he didn't have HBO. And I borrowed it from a friend, so I just bought the box set, and I was like, Papa Rene, you gotta watch this. I don't actually know if he's watched it yet, but he has it, and I will definitely be going back to watch it soon. It's so good. I love that. There's also this, I think I talked about it before, but there's also this streaming site that's pretty cheap, especially in comparison to like Netflix and literally anything else that everybody else has. But it's called Magellan, and that one is all just different genres of documentaries. Yes,
that's a documentary
so good. It's got this incredible documentary series about ancient Egypt, and like even before, you know, Nefertiti and Tutankhamun, like those are the ones that like people are often obsessed about, but they actually go way back to even like the dawn of Egyptian civilization and forward from there, and it's so thorough.
When I was in Toronto, there's a big art museum there.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a whole section with like from Egypt with like actual mummy and the jars and such. It's just crazy.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a hard time sitting down to like actually consume documentaries as they are. I often have them up as like background noise. So I keep picking up information that I forget where I get it from. So I'm like, why do I know so many of these weird little
Why do I know this?
facts?
Where did this
It's like,
information come
yeah,
from?
you're like bringing up documentaries. I'm like, oh yeah, I know this. Like, wait, why do I know this?
Yeah. But in some ways, that's a good way to learn too, because then you're like, was I fed this information from the heavens? Like, how do I
Just
know this?
through osmosis. Just I'm absorbing information while I'm busy doing other things. I'm just like, I have so much random useless trivia in my head. It's silly.
Not so random and useless anymore. But yeah, so that's just the thing that I wanted to share because I find it fascinating. But now my question, it's open for discussion for you guys.
Is it about Pompei?
No, like I said, it's totally like other end of the spectrum. I recently had a wonderful food eating experience that, like, there wasn't anything particularly special about it, but somehow it's like I think it happened about a month or two ago, but since then it has like stuck with me, and I'm genuinely surprised. And I wanted to ask you guys, has there ever been some food eating experience that the food itself and just the atmosphere of that moment will now be in your memory forever?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Would you care to share?
It's not a very interesting story.
No,
though.
it
It's
doesn't-
like
it doesn't
it's a
have to
very.
be.
I feel like it's a very personal moment for me because it's like you said, like food itself was like very normal, but it is something that I, to this day, still remember and still try to replicate, and have never properly gotten it.
I don't know. You know, when you try to replicate something that was really, really good before, it often will just never happen again.
It doesn't work. Yeah.
So it's gonna sound like such a random story, but
No, let's go.
back when I had braces, I had to go to a certain mall, which doesn't exist anymore. I had to go to a certain mall's second floor to go to the orthodontist who would do my braces, and usually my appointment would be like the 11 a.m. appointment. So once we're done, I'd have to sit there and wait a little bit before I could leave. So I'd wait 30 minutes, and then I'd go for lunch. And there was always a food court right under the office there.
Wait, how old were you when you had braces?
Early teens.
Oh, so it was like you would not go to school, or would you go on a weekend or something?
It would always be a weekend appointment. I'd go on like
okay.
a Saturday, and then like my parents would go do groceries or whatever while I'm at the dentist, so I have to wait for them and all that. So I would always be waiting in this food court. I very much remember this one food court, and I'm really sad it doesn't exist anymore because it's like it's very stereotypical of like an Asian food court. It is loud as all hell. Everyone's shouting over each other. It's very steamy. It's very it's different from like a Western mall food court with like a McDonald's, a Wendy's, and a Tim Hortons and whatever. It kind of feels like a Chinese market, but just and there was this one little Hong Kong style cafe that did a lunch special, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll take the special because I couldn't really read the menu in Chinese. And there's a dish they served which is called mince and egg on rice.
Okay, that sounds good.
It is minced pork with like stir-fried veggies on a bed of rice.
Where's
And
the egg?
they add a raw egg on top of that.
Oh, is it like TKG?
It's meant to be eaten in the same way as TKG, in that you mix the raw egg into the rice, and the heat kind of vaguely cooks it, congeals it into a sauce. And it was the first time I got a raw egg served to me from any sort of like professional eatery.
Were you scared?
And I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. This was before I discovered TKG.
Okay.
And it was delicious.
Aww.
It was what made me like discover, oh, TKG is a thing. Like people can eat raw eggs on rice. I was like, it opened like my third eye to raw eggs on rice. And so like I had to go to a like orthodontist checkup like once a month or whatever. So once a month, I would go to that same eatery and get it. And that went on for like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
And
when
then-
you know what you like.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna take a short break." Like they closed the cafe for like a little bit. So I was like waiting patiently for them to come back, and then they demolished them all.
Oh. Did they relocate? Do you remember the name of the place?
It's just HK Cafe. It's like a little hole in the wall
HK
eatery.
Cafe?
Yeah, because it's like Hong Kong style cafe.
Oh, I was like, GHK, but no G?
No G,
No.
because she can't eat the pork.
Oh, it's true.
Yep, I cannot.
They did you a favor then.
It makes.
But yeah, it's like it's such a nothing kind of dish. It's like it's just one eatery out of like a dozen in this hole in the wall mall that doesn't exist anymore. But it's like I keep thinking about it, so I'd go to like different restaurants, different Hong Kong style restaurants that also serve like mince and egg on rice, and it's never the same.
Yeah, especially if it's from a different place. You know, they're always going to season their food just slightly differently. They're always going to make their rice or their mince slightly different. Like, it'll never
Exactly,
really be the
like-
exact same.
Yeah.
That's
what
why
I
that
found-
memory's
There was
so
this
beautiful.
There was this fried dish, like Chinese food dish that I would get with fried tofu.
Ooh.
And it was when I was in university, there was a Chinese restaurant that was like a couple blocks away. And so it was really cheap too. And I would go there, and if I was really busy with classes, I would go there like every week. And it got
Love
to the point
those.
that I would just walk in and they would be like, "Your order's ready in 5 minutes." And I'd be like, "I didn't even order anything yet."
I've had that too. I've had that too in college. Yeah, there was this one diner that just like recognized me, and like I'd sit down and they'd have the food ready.
Yeah, I'd come in and
that's
they'd just be like,
great.
well, because I would always get it as takeout because then I could bring it home and study while having the food with me, right? And not have to walk home in the dark. So we were just like, I just go in and they're like, "Your order's ready," and I'd be like, "Oh, I've been coming here a lot, haven't I?"
That is
I
delightful.
love that though. I love that kind of like unspoken familiarity you
Yeah.
have once you go to like a place enough.
That's when you have your haunt, right?
Yeah, that's what I wish to achieve in life. I have never gotten close to having a haunt, and I would like one very much.
Mm-hmm.
It got to the point where they're like, the usual, or would you like a menu today? Like, I love that. I had no idea what their name was. They had no idea what my name was. They just knew me as the pork rice guy. And it's like,
Yep.
Yeah, I bet that's exactly what they call you behind closed doors too. They're like, "Hey, the pork rice guy is here," and they're like, "Get him the pork and rice." That's so endearing. I love that so much. That's a great memory. I love that for you,
Nice.
Kai.
what was your eating experience? What opened your third eye recently?
Me or
Yeah, you started this topic.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't remember if I talked about it on GHK. If I did, just tell me I'm repeating myself and I'll shut up. But I had a couple friends over. Like I said, either early last month or maybe even late January. And whoa, Kai, you look possessed. What's happening?
I'm sorry, my nose is runny, so I'm like
Oh,
blowing my
okay.
nose, but the camera doesn't like that.
It just looks like
Kai's just
someone
been crying the whole
Yeah.
time.
No, shut up. You're emotional.
Yeah, so I had a couple of friends over, and one of my friends, just out of the kind graciousness of their heart, was like, "I'll bring some steaks over and I'll cook them for us."
Mhm.
And I'm not really a steak person. Like, I very rarely eat steak because I just find it too much of a chore to eat, and there's just way too much meat, and I'm much more of a rice and vegetable with some meat side dish sort of person. But it was really nice of them to offer, and of course I'm not going to say no to a free meal, so I was like, sure, okay. And it was probably the best steak I've ever had. It was delicious, and it was cooked like exactly how I would have wanted it. I didn't even know exactly how I liked my steak until I had their cooking, and then I was like, I will never order steak another way again. And when I asked them, I was like, what did you do that made this so amazing? And they were like, butter and
Butter.
salt and pepper. And I know they also used rosemary. Like they had sprigs, they had a sprig of rosemary in there too. But it was like really basic, easy ingredients to get. I will say that they did mention that to them it was very important that they got grass-fed and finished beef. So I mean, and then I subscribe to that idea. Like when I go to get any form of meat, I do try and get, you know, grass-fed and finished. So yeah, but it was just, I mean, I know some people, like with their home cooking, of course it can rival restaurants on occasion, like when they've been cooking a certain dish that's just sort of their specialty and they've done it for so long. But like, I didn't take this particular friend to be a big cooker. Like I know they like to grill, but I don't know. I was just blown away by like how amazing this steak was. And especially because I'm not a steak person, and just the fact that they were nice enough to bring it over and to cook it for everyone. Like it was so low key, but it was probably like the best. Like I don't think any restaurant I'll ever go to will ever compare to this person's steak. Like it was just incredible.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was just like shocking, and I ate it all. I was so full, but it was so good. I loved it. So that was my food memory. And the fact is, I mean, and I've had so much more. I've had so many other interesting foods in my life that I personally would say I would eat sooner than I would eat a steak. And those memories have stuck with me as well. But this one in particular, I don't know. There's just something real special about it. And I think especially because it's a food I would not have chosen to eaten. You know? Like if it were like a food I already loved and then went to get it and it was like the best of that kind of food I've ever had, then, you know, that's one thing. But if it was a food that I generally, you know, I didn't dislike, but it's not my favorite, and then I ate it and I did like a total 180, like I was just like, this is the most delicious thing ever. I think that's probably what made it so special.
Wow.
But yeah.
It absolutely pains me how food-centric this episode is because it's almost 3 p.m. and I haven't eaten yet today.
Wow.
I was eating frozen fruit at the beginning of the episode.
I had a glass of water and we still have DM's food and ready to go.
Bowl of oatmeal. I think I can go fast on my food experience one though. So when I was living in Japan, so I was in a pretty rural area, right?
I remember, yeah.
And rural areas you don't really get like too much vegetarian option for stuff, and I went to Tokyo to go on vacation essentially for like spending 5 days in Tokyo. And my friend Jessie lives in Jessie Naka. She lives in the area there, and so I messaged her. I was like, hey, do you want to like meet up and get food or something? And she took me to a shabu shabu restaurant called Onyosai, and she had done like she did research. She's wonderful, fantastic human. Like if you go and like hang out with her, she'll be like, okay, I looked into this and I looked into this and I looked into this, and like give you all this information on it, right?
Yes. I'm going to go actually visit Jessie Naka later this year.
I'm going to visit her later this
month.
But Jessie, like, she was like, here, we're gonna go to shabu shabu, and I was like, but isn't that like normally like a meat thing? Because normally you get like the shabu shabu, you have the boiling pot of broth, and you dip your little thin sheets of meat into it. And she was like, no, trust. And so she took me to Onyasai, and Onyasai has a entire all-you-can-eat veggie menu.
Wow.
And so we
Sasuga
went to this
onion
shabu-shabu place, and I had this entire menu of veggie options and like mochi and noodles and various other things that I could put into the shabu-shabu and have. And I did a soy milk broth, and they made it into a risotto at the end of it. And it was just like, I was so full after that, and it was just such like a happy food experience that I was just like, this is what happiness is. And
I'm sure like it totally blew away your expectations as well.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I was like, shabu shabu is one of those things that I'll never get to like really enjoy or get like to have a good time with, because most of the time it's not vegetarian friendly. And then Jessie found this place, and I was just like, Oh my god, this is
Yes.
delicious.
I think that's got to be a huge thing with what makes a memorable experience is that it has to be something that you weren't expecting.
Yeah.
Because if you
Okay.
go in with expectation,
Then
only...
they won't be met, right?
Exactly.
But, like,
it'll only be disappointment.
yeah,
Yeah.
anytime I go into like a restaurant or anything and it has more than 3 options that I can order off of the menu, I'm always like, oh my god, this is the best place in the world.
Such a low bar. How sweet.
It's like salad, burger, or appetizer is usually what the options are when I go to like a standard restaurant.
And you're right.
Yeah.
That is how it be.
Yeah, so it's just like anytime I go and there's something additional, I'm just like, oh my god, this is so nice.
Oh, that makes me sad now because there was this amazing vegetarian place, like 5 minutes away from where I grew up, and it got good business, and I would go there, and even if you weren't vegetarian, like the dishes were so delicious that like people who normally were like happily eating meat would go there just because their food was so good. And to them it was like, oh, now I can get my like a healthy dose of vegetables and not feel like it's a chore, you know? And for some reason, I think it was because like they were leasing their portion of their building in like I forgot what you call it. Like, you know how they have like storefronts, and so like stores can be connected to one another, but like in like a plaza sort of setting. And they're the owner who like owned that whole plaza raised the lease prices, and they, I don't know if they couldn't or wouldn't start paying more for their lease, so they had to shut their business down, and I don't think they ever relocated. But it was such a shame because there's so very few places that give you, like DM said, like more than just salad or a burger or something else that's you know like a great vegetarian option. And I think those are, I mean, I'm sure in a big city it's probably way more common. Like I'm sure
Yeah,
Kai
it's
around your
easier to
area,
find.
yeah.
But when you're out and about, it's just like,
Yeah, so I'm sure that made your experience that much better. And like you said, because shabu shabu is usually known for just being mostly meat.
He's being very meat centric, right?
Yeah,
it's just like one of those dishes I look at, I'm like, oh, that's neat. But then being able to be like, oh my god, I got to eat it. Yay.
Yay. Well, I'm so happy for you. That actually sounds like a great memory. I love that.
It's a very good one.
Didn't you also, you mentioned Japan. I'm like trying to think back. I'm like, I remember you talking to me about how like after work too, you'd go to like just this stall by the riverside. I forgot if it was for Dango or if it was for
no, that
Ayaki?
was no. The stall by the river was only during cherry blossom season.
Yes.
And there is in Aichi Prefecture, like they don't have this in Tokyo.
Was it
In
Gohemochi?
Aichi Prefecture, there is a snack thingy that's called gohemochi.
Gohemochi, yes. Okay, so I was correct. Yeah. It's
it's
the grilled like rice on a stick.
Yeah, so pretty much like, because the way that they make mochi is they have like the big like bowl and then they hit it with the hammers until it's all smoothened up and everything. But the mochi that they use for gohemochi isn't all the way pulverized, so it still has like rice chunks in it, essentially.
Like chunky peanut butter.
It's still grainy, and then they form that around sticks into like a paddle shape, and then they it has the sauce, or the tare is with
walnut?
No, it's with sesame and soy sauce and sugar, and it's a sweet like soy sauce, and I think there's also like a soybean flour in it, maybe, I'm not sure. But it's like grilled, and they continuously like grill it and rotate it so that the sauce caramelizes and everything, and it's just really tasty.
Ooh, that sounds so good.
One of the nights that was like the last evening of the Cherry Blossom Festival, I went over to the stall and the guy had 5 of them left, and I was like, I want all of them. He was like, you want all of them? And I was like, give me the rest of them. And he was just like, yeah, let's go.
Give me your mochi, old man.
Yup. So it was really, really tasty. And I love gohei mochi, but it's not anything that's like commonly like found in like Tokyo or Osaka, because it's like an Aichi Prefecture thing.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I do remember this talk. Yes.
Aw, see, I love food. I just think like
It's all I eat.
True,
Me
but,
too.
but also like it can create some really special memories, and I just feel like I don't know. Sometimes it's very underrated, and I think people need to relearn how to love good food.
Yeah.
You know, and not just junk food.
Well, one of the things that I do, unless I'm working, if I'm working, then I don't do this, but because sometimes I just have like a meeting or something, so I have to eat while I'm doing it. But like dinner time, I almost always make sure that I'm like sitting at my dining area so that I can sit and eat the food without distraction.
Yes. They say
Right?
that is huge. Like just learning to actually taste your food, and you know,
Yeah, to sit there and appreciate it and just like I don't have my phone out or anything, just like eating my meal.
right. And we also have to work on eating slow, right? All three of us have that
we
issue.
all just were just like, boom.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good way also to like teach you to pace yourself. But that's wonderful. I love that.
I think I almost enjoy the cooking process more than the eating process. I'll spend like an hour preparing dinner and like cooking it and like getting everything plated really nice, and then I'll carry it over to my computer desk and just.
How about
goodness.
tonight, Kai? You don't do that.
Yeah.
No, because tonight I'm clearing out leftovers, so I'm just microwaving like some
Wow.
stuff that I got from my parents yesterday.
Noise.
All right. I think I've got to do my topic quickly then, so that we don't go over because Kai's got.
Yeah,
Kai booked stuff on our final day, so we can't spend a whole bunch of time together. Kai booked it so that we would have to end like, man, Kai.
Well
Okay,
done,
first
Kai.
of all, I didn't book it. My parents booked me for this. And
Now he's taking up my topic time.
okay, go.
Almost made me spit out my coffee.
Well, the thing is like the funny thing is I didn't set up a topic, so like
That is
Wow.
on brand for you, DM.
yeah, but it's so on
Absolute
brand for me.
shocker.
I just came here to have a good time and I'm an attack Kai.
Ain't that just the way?
Ain't that just the way? So
It's like nothing's changed in the last 3 seasons.
What is
Yeah.
Go on.
yes, what is
Yep.
what is
love?
baby, don't hurt me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what's a good topic.
Love is what I feel for the both of you here in this time and place.
Oh no, DM just puked. I accept, Kai.
I accept.
Begrudgingly.
Kai.
Begrudgingly.
Begrudgingly. Let's see. If we were to in the future when we're all old and decrepit organize a GHK meetup IRL, where would you want it to be?
Toronto.
Toronto? Why?
Because 2 out of the 3 are real close to there.
Fair enough. How about you, Kai?
Honestly, like if it's kind of like the fantasy kind of setting, like no budgets to be spared. Kind
Okay,
of
that's
deal.
No budget. Yeah, money's no object.
Oh,
You can
okay,
make
then
any
I'm
choice
an
wherever.
idiot. My option was to be the most convenient.
Okay, what's yours? What's yours then, Harune?
Oh, well, I'll let
you
Kai
can
go
redo.
first so I can
Okay.
think about my fantasy.
I feel like Japan would be the obvious answer, where it's
Okay.
like we'd all have a shared interest there.
Yeah.
But a part of me also feels like that's like what everyone's expecting.
Mm.
So I want to say a GHK Euro trip would sound really fun.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Because I've
Oh
never
my
been to
God.
Europe, and I mean, like,
Rip.
I feel like DM could be a very great tour guide, especially in like the more like German parts.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that would be dope as heck. I would my dream meetup would be that we went to like a little quaint town that not too many people know about, and just like get an Airbnb
Mm-hmm.
and just explore the little town, like, of course, look ahead of time if there are like cute little eateries we can eat at. You know, places that like DM would be able to eat at, that I would be able to eat at with both our dietary restrictions.
I'm scared of no food.
I know, scared, as if we're scared.
You know what? Just watch. Kai's gonna become celiac in like 2 years.
No!
Well, it's funny that Kai mentioned scared because part of my fantasy is that we also, to round, or like as the highlight of the trip, find a haunted location to do a ghost hunt in.
Yes. Yes. Perfect.
That would be my dream.
So this is how you tell me you hate me, huh?
You said no, you were scared of no food, but what about ghosties? I'm also scared of ghosties. I would be petrified the whole time. Kai would be my meat shield.
You're just gonna be yelling at me the whole time. I play Phasmo with you. I know how this goes.
I'm way more brave in Phasmo than I am. I would be in person, I think. I think I'd be really scared, but I'd want to do it. I'd want to do it. There are actually a couple of places in my state that have like these cute little quaint towns that have like these cute little downtown areas, but also have like some local haunts. And I am all for it. I would love it if we could do that. That'd be so fun.
That would be super neat, yeah.
Yeah. I'm still upset I haven't had the opportunity to hang out with Harune IRL yet. I have had
make it happen.
The very great opportunity to meet DM. It was big fun.
That's okay. I haven't met DM either.
Despite the fact that she punched me.
DM, you won't punch me, will you?
Harune, no, never. Of course not. See, the funny thing is like, Harune, when eventually you meet Kai, Kai, you do not match your voice.
Yeah, that was something he brought up, and I was like, no one's ever said that about me before. What the heck?
Oh no, am I gonna laugh?
I was just like,
what did you mean by that?
And you're not like a bad or anything, or like not negative or anything. It was just kind of bemused. It was just like,
you pointed at me. You pointed up at my face, and you just said, "How does that?" And then you like circled your hand around my mouth. Like, how does that sound like that? I'm like, what does that mean?
How does your voice come out of that tiny mouth?
How does all of that make that noise?
How does all of that make this noise? Why does this? How does this sound come out of that vessel? Right?
And I'm just like, I don't know what she means. Do I sound younger? Do I sound older? Do I sound?
No, it was just like a very bemused experience. It's just like.
That's a part of me that I'm a little bit scared of, is that if I ever do meet any of my fellow VTuber friends IRL, like I would hate to disappoint, you know?
I don't think it's ever a disappointment. It's mostly just like a like, because everyone has their own expectations what kind of person like they've met. But I've been on the opposite side, Harune. There's kind of this excitement when you're just like, oh, the real meetup, everything, right? Like I get to like have that moment of being like, oh, this was different than I expected, blah, blah, blah. I've been told by multiple people that have met me that there was nothing surprising about me. They're like, oh yeah, that's her.
This is definitely her.
Are you kidding me? Like everybody else goes like, oh my God, this is you. Oh my God. And then there's like, yeah, that's Luna. I'm just like, are you kidding?
I had that exact same feeling about you, because it was like, when I participated in like group meetups.
Wait, what was that word again?
When I participated.
All right, there we go. Continue.
In group meetups and stuff, there was always that bit where it's like we're supposed to meet in a public area and everyone's kind of scattered. That you can't really recognize each other because everyone's like, you know, like online and offline. You know, they're more incognito. They don't look like the cat-eared angel succubus demons that they are, you know, they're all in disguise. But then like I turn up with my dyed hair and my mask, and suddenly like strangers from all corners of the meeting spot would just like gravitate towards me. They're like, oh yeah, this one's
like, they all coalesce. You are the beacon.
This one's Kai. We all know. Oh, so that means you're who. And the first time I met DM, I had that exact same feeling where like I laid eyes upon you, you said the first thing you said to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is DM.
Yep. But it's just like for me, it's been frustrating because, like, of course, like my family's all nerds, and so I remember one of my like earlier childhood memories is we took a road trip so mom and dad could go meet their guild mates, right?
Beat their guildmates.
Yeah, to beat them up, boom, boom, boom. No, I got to meet their guild mates, and so like everybody meeting and be like, oh my god, this is you, like blah blah blah, like the expectations and everything.
Yeah.
And then anytime that I'm just like, yay, I get to have the oh my god, this is you experience. It's every time it's like, oh, it's you.
Oh,
I can
yeah,
understand.
this is yeah.
Yeah, I could.
You had the easiest online to offline transition for me.
Yep.
Wow.
I was like,
That's
we're
what I get from
immediately
most
into
people. Yep. I was just like, well, all right.
See, there's a part of me that wants that though. Like I can understand the excitement of like the oh my god, this is you sort of moment, but like I'd be too scared of that. I think I want people to just be like, oh yeah, you're Harune, but I don't.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that would happen.
Yeah.
Like
I was more surprised when DM commented on my voice. Just like, how does that make that? I'm like, what do you mean?
That's the
This is who I
funniest
am.
sentence.
Yeah, she didn't say like, how do you sound like that? She's literally, how does that make
come out of
that? Yeah, how does that
Make
come out of that?
that.
I'm like, what?
Oh, that's so good. Get that on a plaque. How does that come out of that? So good. Ugh. Well, friends. The time is nigh.
Kai's just gonna listen to all of GHK. Like it's gonna be like tomorrow. He's just gonna put it up on a playlist queue, and he's just gonna be like, "I remember."
No, that's
we
that's
used to
me.
record this.
That's me.
cute.
That's gonna be me tomorrow. I'll be
no.
like starting from the beginning. I'm like, oh, I could listen to where we were. Wait, DM, I just realized you never shared your dream.
Oh,
A shared
like
dream
meetup?
meetup. Yeah.
I think it would just be neat to for us to go stay in a cabin on a mountaintop,
Ooh.
like, and have to like get off of the cabin before a snowstorm happens.
I don't
love
like
Project
this.
Winter.
so that
I
me
don't like
and
this.
Harune could survive.
Yeah.
I
I'll
love
survive
Project
it.
Winter.
I don't like that at all. Kai's gonna sing happy birthday and stab me with an axe a million times.
That's what
I think
you
it would be a
did.
fitting end.
Yeah, well,
That's
you'd be
what
like,
you did.
you'd be like,
A fitting
that's
end to me?
payback. That's payback. Harune, haha, real life Project Winter, haha, you're dead.
Is that what I sound like to you?
That's that. Wow. Oh my God, Kai, you're talking so fast, dude. You gotta calm down.
Oh god.
Good to know that I sound like a complete Neanderthal to Harune's ear.
How does that come out of that, Kai?
It all comes full circle. Oh no. See, we've done essentially what DM sibling has done for hers. So now you can be like, oh,
See?
thank God this episode's over. I can,
Yep. See.
I can go and curl into a ball back in bed and not have to be pestered incessantly by the H and G of GHK.
Yes.
Really had to think about that for a sec, didn't you?
I almost
mean,
said the
letters are
H
up
and
and
K. I'm staring at it too. I have like the visual in front of me, and it literally says in our background GHK Radio, and I was staring at the H, and they went, "I'm
like,
the
wait,
H,"
wait,
and then
I'm
I
H.
was
Who are
like,
the other two?
"Yeah, exactly."
Now all of Hong Kong will make you cry.
Now all of China knows you're here.
Oh no.
I just rewatched Mulan yesterday, and that was probably the best meme
I
to come
say
out.
that line like all the time. Anytime
so
like
good.
anytime I make sound in a video game where there's like an enemy team and they can hear me, or my teammate does, I'll just go, "No, all of China knows you're here."
I have
China knows you're here.
I have lost so many incredible opportunities. Like ever since I heard that used the first time, I think it was by Free Dimension, which is a mod and old friend on a UE server. And the one time we were in a VC and he said that, like that was when my third eye was blown open, and I was like, how many opportunities have I missed to say this golden nugget? Like,
It's such a good line. Like I use it all the like anytime like I get noticed by baddies or anything, or like I make a mistake or I get like spotted. I'll just be, "No, all of China knows I'm here."
I
And like I'll
love
run away.
that. That's such a good. I'm so sad that it hasn't like been in my lexicon earlier in life. I feel like I've missed many opportunities. But
I always like misuse that phrase because I always change the last word.
why?
When I like, it's always just like, now all of China knows you cried.
No.
Oh yeah, that works too.
Yeah.
Or like whatever dumb thing we were doing at the
No,
time.
that
It's
works.
like-
That works too.
yeah, it's like when I go raiding with Sudan and somebody dies in spectacular fashion, it's like, now all of China knows you died.
I like the idea of someone dying in spectacular fashion.
Oh, very much so. It's very common for one person to go, oh, oops, and then 8 people die with them. It's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, on that slightly more cheerier note, that like took a deep nosedive of emotion first. And then...
we were like, we were sad. Oh no, China knows you're here.
Never love China knows you're here.
Yeah. So good. But anyway, as always, I always thank you guys in the tweets, but I'm going to thank you in person now. Both Girl DM and Kai for taking this little risk and for saying yes to being my co-hosts on a podcast that was really just a labor of love. Really had no expectations or plans for this thing. Just 2 other people that I was hoping felt as friendly towards me as I felt towards them. To get together and chat about literally anything. And I'm glad that we were able to do this for 3 full seasons.
That's a heckin' long time for like, I don't know. If you've looked at podcasts in the past, like a lot of them make it through to like maybe 5 episodes and then they just disappear. But we managed a whole 3 seasons. Like I think we did pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think and I liked our season breaks. I thought that was also really important. So I don't know. I'm glad that we were all able to make it work. And as difficult as it was, we were also, it was easy to like work things out together. I feel like had it been with anybody else, it would have been like difficult to pester each other for times and dates. Like I just felt like it was really easy to schedule things with you guys, and that's half the battle sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's just been an honor and a pleasure throughout the whole shebang. So thank you very sincerely.
Thank you for having us, for inviting us.
After this, I'm going to block and unfriend both of you. Let's go!
We'll never hear from DM again.
And then she disappeared.
And also to anyone who's been listening all this time, anyone who's been either new to the podcast, like, found them through any of the 3 of us, or people who have found us individually through the podcast itself, which is, to me, and I know for Kai too, even more surprising. Like, it's so rare for people to come and be like, hey, I found you through GHK.
Right?
Yeah, right?
Because it just seems so less circulated. I think is the right word for that. But yeah, it's, for anyone who's commented or anyone who's just listened for shiggles and has never, contributed a comment in the comment sections, it doesn't even matter. Just the fact that you stuck in a view, you listened to us ramble, it's been great. And anyone who's attended any of our live listens, any of the guests that have joined us, an equally big thank you. So for the final time, それでは皆さん、またね。バイバイ。
バイバイ。